This is not just a, oh, look at how much money I made type of video. It was a real journey, right? A real life experiment to see what's possible when you are starting with low capital. So 35 days, just 35 days is all it took me to go from a single crumpled up $100 bill to this $90,000. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is what is up. $90,000 in the account. And here's the thing, I didn't just stumble upon this. I didn't win any lottery. But just imagine if I only had $110 left to my name, what would I do? So I'm about to tell you that story of how I turned $110 into $90,000 in just 30 days. Obviously, no fluffs, just raw, unfiltered truth. The sleepless nights, the crashing losses, the time I actually thought that I have lost it all, and the one strategy that changed every single thing. But first, you need to understand this. This is where it all began. Now, if you have been following the journey, you know the ultimate goal is to get funded $2 million in prop firm capital. But the twist is we are starting from the smallest accounts and scaling that up till we get $2 million. We're not just starting from $100,000, $200,000 account. I mean, you've seen the videos, you've seen the grind, you've seen the pursuit. You even see how I passed my first challenge of the $25,000 FTMO account. And obviously things don't always go as planned now, do they? Right now, I am sitting in a pretty ugly drawdown on my second phase challenge on FTMO. I am down over, let's just say $1,000. I took two losing trades in a row. And now it's just a battle to recover. And honestly, it's testing my patience. But hey, that's trading, right? We have the highs, we have the lows, we have the ups, we have the downs. That's the game that we actually chose to play. So yeah, whilst I'm fighting that battle on the $25,000 second phase challenge on FTMO, I knew I still had to be strategic with the other prop firms, and with just $110, I cannot just sit around and wait till I am back out of drawdown. I needed to act so that we can get to our goal real fast. So here's the plan. I took the $110 and I bought a $3,000 prop firm account. Yes, you have heard that right. I bought a $3,000 live account on 10 trade, and honestly, it was almost so easy. Most of the NASDAQ trades that I was posting on my channel, I was taking them also on this very account, you know, mostly in NASDAQ, quick in and out. I made the minimum trading days, which is 5, and I got an accelerated payout because I hit 10% of the $3,000. That's like 400. I made 400 and something, $480 or $460. So that's like over the 10%. And you know, if you make 10%, you can get an accelerated payout, which I did request. I don't have to wait for the 15 days of the standard payout. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking. Why did I just not go and buy a $100,000 prop firm account or a $200,000 prop firm account so that I can just cut out the middleman, right? So you are absolutely not wrong. Those larger accounts, they do offer, you know, massive potential. I'm actually funded $100,000 on the trader capital, and I've already gotten a $6,000 payout this year alone that you've seen in the previous videos. So the larger accounts, they do offer, you know, greater potential. But like I was saying, the thing is not a look at how much money I've made type of video. They're doing a challenge, a journey, showing how much you can actually make starting from low capital and how you can go about it, right? So right now I am looking at these charts, and I believe that anyone with the right strategy, the right mindset, and a little bit of grit can actually achieve financial freedom. I just had to drop a signal right now in the inner circle, and we're already up 40 pips on US 30. As you can see, we're already up 40 pips. In fact, 50 pips. That's our first take profit that has just been hit. So I was saying those large accounts are quite expensive, right? And it's very expensive. And you know, I wanted to put myself in the shoes of an average trader when I first started. You know, when I just had $50, $100 to risk in the market. And that's the reality of most traders when they're starting. It's not everyone that is sitting on a pile of money all the time. This is so distracting. It just so happened that this is when we had momentum right now in the market. So yeah, it's just pushing up to the top. So we're up 80 pips, just 80 pips. And I have to update the group. That was a nice 80 pips for the inner circle. I just told him to take a few profits right now so that we can hold it probably to TP2, which is 100 pips. But then we want, you know, to be safe because the market is acting really crazy. We want to make sure we are securing all the profit as much as we can. We're trying to make the most of what we actually have. So I could have gone for a bigger account, but that could have not been relatable. We could have easily paused that. It could have not really been relatable. I'm already trading $100,000 account, and you know the trades are just, you go in, you make $700, you make 1.2 in a day. You can't, no one really relates to that. Like an average trader can't relate to that. So what we're trying to do here is just a story of an average trader with a tiny budget took on the markets, and you know, we won. So I took a nice payout on the $3,000 account. There was a nice $480 if I am not mistaken, and my profit share was 70%, which was $336, which is not bad for a few days of work, right? But then here's the plan where things got really interesting. So I was really excited for the scale up plan that they have on this prop firm, right? So my vision was to take a $3,000 account, scale it up to $10,000, scale that up to $30,000, then to $90,000, then to $270,000, then to the maximum account that they have, which is $500,000. I wanted to just scale up the account with that, and that is why I went straight for the live account. So the scaling up conditions are really simple. Just make 10% of your account, do not request a withdrawal, and then your account can get scaled up. So if I had 3,000, I made 10%. I wanted to scale it up to just get 10,000, then I make $1,000, scale it up to get 30,000, then make $3,000, scale it up to get 90,000, and so on until we get 500,000. That was the goal on this prop firm. But there is always a but. I made a really rookie mistake. Completely overlooked the minimum account that you can scale up was $10,000. It turns out you need a $10,000 account to be able to scale up, not $3,000. What did I do? The only logical thing to do was take the profit that I made there, and I bought a $10,000 account with my profit. It's like $300 or something like that, and that is when the real story actually begins, because from there things got absolutely interesting. I mean, interesting is an understatement, because from that $10,000 account I managed to pull out a clean $761, and you will not believe how smooth it was. Honestly, the market was just lovely. I mean, you have seen all the videos. This is where I explain most of the trades. These are the exact same trades that I explain in all my videos that I was taking exactly on this account, and the only loss that I took was a mere $20. Now look at these trades, 10 trades in total. You can see them right here, and if we do a quick calculation, because this prop firm does not give a full breakdown like the way FTMO then goes in detail, so we have to do it ourselves. So if we look at a breakdown of these trades, you can see I had a total of 10 trades before I requested for a withdrawal, 9 winning trades and 1 losing trade. That gives us a fantastic 90% win rate, which is slightly higher than the 81% win rate that I had on FTMO. This is mainly because I took 1 loss on this account. And now, if you remember in my previous video, FTMO kind of like, butchered me for having a high, win rate of 81% and a low risk to reward ratio, and I was really honest and transparent about that with you guys, and I have been working on that, right? So look at these numbers. Our total profit from all these trades is $800, and if we remove the $20 loss, we'll have a net profit of $780. So minus the commission and all of those things, we withdrew $761, which is excellent. But the best part is our risk to reward ratio on this trade. Our average win on each trade was $89, and the only loss that we had was $20. Now if you do the math, that gives you an approximate risk to reward ratio of 4.46. 4.46 risk to reward ratio. That is a huge improvement, right? So we were risking a little to gain a lot more, which is exactly what we wanted, right, from FTMO. Now anytime you take a challenge or you do anything, make sure you learn from that, and then you now adjust your trades accordingly. So as you can see, we have significantly improved our risk to reward ratio while maintaining our very high win rate that we had, and that's exactly the kind of consistency that we are aiming for. Yeah, so that was it. The $760 was it. Now remember, the goal was to scale up the $10,000 account to $30,000, and I said there's always a but each and every time. So it means that I should have just had $11,000 in my account for me to be able to scale it up, but I took the profits out of the account. The $760. I withdrew it out of the account, and here is why. Now on this platform, I find this one thing a little bit ridiculous because they reduce the daily loss limit and the overall loss limit as the account gets bigger and bigger. I mean, what is the point of having a larger account if you have to be less flexible, right? So if you look here, for accounts between 1,000 to 10,000, the daily loss limit is 6% and the overall loss limit is 9%, which is very reasonable, right? Most prop firms, they do give the same thing like that. But then watch what happens next as we go from 30,000. The maximum loss is now 7%, and the 90,000 gets even worse, right? The maximum loss is 5%. It keeps getting lower and lower. The daily loss is now 3%. And that's 5% and 3% will stay the same as the account keeps getting larger till the largest account, which is 500,000. Seriously, why would I want a 3% loss limit when, I'm working towards a larger account? So that was kind of what, discouraged me a little bit. I realized that if I try scaling from 10,000 to 30,000 to 90,000, and then 270 till 500,000 with these shrinking limits, I'll just be shooting myself in the foot. Because if we sit here, honestly, if I'm trading a $270,000 account, I am obviously going to increase my lot size, and increasing my lot size, with these type of limits is going to really make me to fail the account, at least for myself. I know how I trade, and this is not like, these are not the best conditions for me. So I put on my thinking cap and took my profit share, and what I just had to do here was to buy the largest account that I could afford with the profit share that I had. So remember, we started with $110 and now we're currently holding $760 in our hand. What I could afford with that was a $90,000 one-step evaluation account, because think about it, I prefer the other, drawdown limits that are, at least if I'm trading a $90,000 account, I want to have my overall drawdown limit for the 10% and my daily drawdown maybe 8%, the overall limit maybe 4%, 5% daily drawdown, something like that. 5% is too low, and 3% for me is actually too low. So with this $90,000 account, I can only lose an overall 5%. That's like $4,500 and an overall of daily loss of 3%, right? And that's just, to me, a little too tight for what I prefer, right? I prefer a lot more flexible challenges, and I'm just going to continue with this $90,000 account since I already have it. This is a problem that we've been trading, and that's the journey. That's what we're doing. Now let's see if we can actually get a payout from this $90,000 account. So the first thing is we have to first pass the challenge, and the goal is to make a 10% target to pass the first phase. It's only one phase, so that's like $9,000 that I need to put in the account, and then I have to maintain a 3% daily drawdown limit and a 5% overall drawdown limit, which is crazy but not impossible, right? So yes, if we are able to do that, we'll see if we can pull out a nice withdrawal from this prop firm, and we'll take it up from there. So that's the journey so far, from the $110 to the $90,000 account that I'm trading right now. It has been a real challenge, brainstorming, thinking, dealing with drawdown on FTMO, trading the Trader Capital 100K account, trading my personal account, trying to balance this challenge also, but then the goal is to get funded 2 million, and it is very much possible. So we are going to keep pushing at it. Now, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? With that, it's been Tino, and I'll see you in the next lit video. Love you guys.